dinner plate.
So as a lot of you know, I recently purchased a 2004 Kawasaki Ninja. There's only one problem with it. It's hideous. And living here in San Andreas, there was one motorcycle that I loved the most in San Andreas. So to fulfill my sick and twisted fantasy of living out a Grand Theft Auto game, let's take my Kawasaki Ninja and make it look like my favorite bike from GTA using only parts from my new website, squid50.com. Awesome marketing video, am I right? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Okay, let's get into it.
Do you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in your mind. You can think about things, make believe things. All you have to do is think about them.
So first things first, the plastics on the Ninja weren't good to begin with. They're cracked all over the place. The aftermarket turn signals on them keep blowing the fuses, and the bike just looks hideous. It absolutely looks gross. I don't like it. So we're gonna make this look real cool. So first things first, I'm going to be removing the mirrors. It's just one little Allen key up the top. Next, I'm going to be removing the 6 bolts on either side to take the bottom fairing off and the top whole nose assembly, which was very interesting when I took it off. I didn't realize that the nose was one complete piece. I thought it was going to separate somewhere, but it's all one piece. It's actually very strange. I gently set the bottom fairing part aside because I decided to reuse that on the bottom. I like the part where it says Ninja. I think that looks really cool. You'll see that at the end, but I think it's neat. So right here you can see me removing the top fairing part and moving it off of the engine case and the front headlight assembly and everything like that. Boy, is that ugly. Without it got even more ugly. Look at that. That's hideous. There's somebody on Marketplace who's selling one of these like that, and it's terrible. Anyways, moving on. I am removing the bolts here from the headlight and speedometer bracket. It's just 4 8mm on each side, and then you'll have 4 8mm holding the headlight onto the bracket, so 2 on each side. Just gonna get those off real quick. Be careful not to drop that headlight because it is glass and you are going to list it on Let Go later to have somebody bargain you over like the $5 you're gonna sell it for. From there, I'm going to be removing the speedometer assembly from this bracket. Now, on my website, squid50.com, I'm selling all kinds of awesome parts that I'm going to be building this bike completely out with and making all kinds of making this Ninja absolutely insane out of parts from my website. But today, we are only focusing on the headlight. I'm going to be doing a really cool speedometer coming up in a later video, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, and then I'll include the parts list of the one I'm going to use down in the description of this video. But for today, I'm going to be using the stock speedometer, and we're just changing out the headlights. Also, you may notice now we don't have any mirrors or turn signals. Don't worry, I'm going to be adding some cool aftermarket mirrors and turn signals from my site, but that's in an upcoming video. So the problem here with these headlights is I went with this really cool dual headlight setup. That isn't compatible with the stock Ninja wiring harness. So what I needed to do was strip out the wires from the new headlights I'm going to be adding, and then strip the wires from the wiring harness from the Ninja, and then figure out which ones are which. And if you're following along at home and you decide to get the same headlight assembly that I have, black is always your ground wire. I believe white is your high beam and yellow is your low beam. So I figured out which one was which in my Ninja wiring harness and then twisted those together and tested it out. So I just tested one bulb right here. I'm going to strip out the other bulb because I want both of my headlights to work together as one. A lot of people like to have one be their high beam or their running light and then both come on for their high beam. I wanted them both on all the time because I think that's much cooler and I like things symmetrical. Now, to mount these headlights, we need headlight mounting brackets, which you can also get on my website. So I'm putting these on my forks. My bike is a 250R, so it has a little bit smaller forks than most bikes, so I put my fork adjustment all the way in, and I bent it a little bit with my hand just to crimp it a little bit, so it's really tight on there. I also added a little bit of double-sided 3M tape on here as well. Just when you put these on, make sure you are putting it up above the bottom tree of the triple tree assembly, just so that your forks, when they depress, they don't hit your headlight assembly. That would be bad. So put them up where headlights go. Come on, that's self-explanatory. You got that. Fed my speedometer cables and my speed sensor and all that stuff through, and then rested my speedometer assembly on top. Now for the time being, I'm just going to be really securely zip tying my speedometer to the forks and the headlight assembly. And this is just a temporary solution. Like I said, I'm going to get a really cool speedometer assembly. So for right now, this will work perfectly. And when it's done, it actually looks pretty cool. I'm actually really happy with how that came out. So I think I'm going to drive around like this for a little while. Right now, it kind of looks a little funky, but when I finish adjusting it at the end of the video, you'll be like, oh, you know what? That actually doesn't look too bad. I'm into that. So now that I have the headlight assembly and the speedometer assembly pretty close to where I want it, I'm going to secure down my wires. Now at the time of recording this, I couldn't find my soldering iron, so I secured them down really nice and tight, and I used a little heat shrink to kind of secure the wires. They're not going to get jostled around too much where they are going to live, so I'm not too worried about it. And this way, if I ever want to make any changes, I can easily go in and detach it. You know, soldering this is a little bit more permanent of a solution. I mean, you can always take solder off, but this would allow me to make any changes if I wanted to, although I'm really happy with how this came out, so I don't think I'm going to be making changes anytime soon. Alright, now that here we go, it started up. Look at that. Here are the headlights on. It looks really cool. You know what? Let's get a shot of it. Good to go. Here we are. Here it is in my driveway. Look at that. I'm really happy with how that came out. That's so cool. I have so much cool stuff planned for this little Ninja. I'm so happy with this bike. But here it is. We'll start it up, and that's what the headlights look like. Both low beam and high beam work, and they work together in conjunction. I'm glad I didn't split up the lights. I'm super pumped on this. So if you'd like to get this headlight assembly, there'll be a direct link to it down in the description of this video. You can get this headlight assembly and put it on whatever motorcycle you would want. This should work on pretty much any bike you would ever want to put it on. You know, it doesn't have to be compatible. You can always just strip the wires back, and as long as you attach them to the right places, it should work on whatever you want to put it on. I invite you to check out my website, squid50.com, where you can get all kinds of wonderful stuff. This website is owned and operated 100% by me. I do all the listings. I handpick everything that goes on the website. And so if there's anything you would like to see on the site that maybe you have your eye on, please let me know, and I can do my best to carry it for you. On Squid 50, we have men's and women's fashion, computer and tech gear, motorcycle, scooter, moped parts, automotive performance parts, automotive visual parts like wraps and cool lighting and stuff. There's skate gear. There's cool like Think Geek type style, like cool stuff like that on there. There's anything you would ever want, and if we don't have it, let me know and I can carry it for you. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this quick little install video. I'm really excited to keep making more of these. I have more parts on the way for my Ninja from my website, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it around, and check out the website. And I hope you are having a great day. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye, everybody.